Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Hey guys, it's the AwesomeCast. It is a year of the AwesomeCast. We are here, and what were we doing a year ago? We were talking about iOS and E3. What are we doing this year? We're talking about iOS and E3. So let's get right off the bat.
Actually, wait. Can I say something that's really important here?
What's up, AJ?
I mean, something incredibly important happened this week.
Yes.
So incredibly important that it trumped all other possible tech news that could have happened this week.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Windows 8.
That's AJ. AJ's
That
joined
is
us on the
amazing,
couch.
because that is the very first entry on the notes.
Absolutely it is.
AJ's here, of course. Chachi's on the couch,
guys.
and Rob's on the internet. How you doing?
I'm on the internet.
Hi, Rob.
Yes, I'm fast tracking this because we do have a lot to get to this week.
Okay.
So Windows 8, yes.
Windows 8, you can touch it. I touched my... No. No. Thanks, Microsoft, for playing, but you're like 5 years too late on that one.
For those that haven't checked it out, it's they showed it off in a touch format.
It's a giant Windows Phone 7.
It's the Windows Phone 7 laid over Windows.
So wait. Let's slap a metaphor on this one and brush it out of the way. So in the past,
metaphors.
Windows Phone mobile stuff.
Bull
Hunky, really terrible. They basically took actual Windows, tossed them on a mobile device and said, yeah, that's fine. We don't need to redesign the UI or anything. That's crazy. So now what they're going to do is they're going to actually design something for a mobile device but put it on the desktop.
Yeah, they're working the other way.
Yeah.
I think the big one that they were throwing around was the fact that they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to do like a Windows Tablet OS and a Windows Media Center OS, and they want Windows.
So there's conformity for their Windows for a change.
Right, and they're building it so that you could have a tablet device that could be dropped into, like kind of like the ePad transformer, the tablet that has the keyboard dock.
I'm thinking the Lenovo L1U, I think it was, or something
The idea here is that you can still have a full touch operating system that you can operate with just your fingers, or you can open it up and have, a real keyboard and mouse and work in all of the awful Windows programs that ruin people's lives on a daily basis from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
As the only Windows user in the room...
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay,
No,
all
it's
right,
not completely true.
fine. But still, I'm not excited about this.
No.
This is just something else for you to IT against, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Microsoft saying, I don't feel like making a tablet.
Yeah, exactly. This is just going to be a pain in the ass for IT guys, and nobody else is going to care. It means any new machine that I happen to end up with that has Windows on it, I'm going to have to figure out how to move all the crap around and make it look like Windows 2000 again.
A week ago, I was pretty excited about this. And you know
like
what
a week ago.
You know what I was also excited about was this, they did this thing where they split the keyboard apart.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, like on the sides.
Yeah.
That
Somebody else did something like that, but we'll get to that.
Look at that. Yeah. Look, there it is right
There it
there.
is.
You
Ta-da.
see that split keyboard action
Wow,
going
that's
on
really
there?
cool for people who have typed on split keyboards and not wanted to kill themselves.
And it seems like, and now for you that are like, well, actually, there it is. You're going into Office, and we're showing some video here from the Microsoft Press Pass.
I mean it's neat. Like there's on the Press Pass thing on the right there. They for people who are on the audio, I'm going to just explain this with my dulcet tones. They take an Excel window and they slide in like a Twitter feed on the left side, and it snaps to the left side of the screen, and then on the right side is a full like Excel window. So you're sitting there doodling around in Excel, meanwhile your Twitter feed is on the left.
You know what other operating system does that?
Every other one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
wait. How long before we see the ads that are about how everybody else is missing out on life because they're spending so much time looking at their desktop screen?
Man,
was that too easy?
I have some really sweet pictures on my desktop, Rob. I have this really sweet one of a cat, and there's a rope, and it's holding on so tightly.
Oh, hang in there, buddy.
Yeah, hang in there.
and it just gives me inspiration.
And this can all go away, and you're back to the Windows 7 desktop. They're calling it.
I don't think I've seen my background in 6 months.
No. Usually I'm too busy working.
Yeah, there's too many things on top of it.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait.
Mine's a turtle.
I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen it in 6 months.
Mine's a sexy Supergirl on my iMac upstairs. I keep forgetting it's there until I have to restart.
Mine is currently the leavings of Cherry Pie Wrestling is what my desktop is. It's just a picture of the empty pool with like all the handprints in it.
That's a pretty solid picture.
Yeah,
Chachi, what is your background? Do you have the standard Windows 7 one that you just never changed because you started
Rolling
doing
Green
things?
Hills?
No, actually, I think I changed it to black, and then that's it.
Oh, he's saving power.
Right.
Yeah,
I actually drove past, I had to go to a wedding this weekend, and it was out in Eastern PA, and I drove past this, set of rolling hills, and I went, look, Windows XP. I just kept going.
No, Have you seen there's somebody took the same picture that is the Windows XP Bliss desktop, and now the whole field is completely barren and crappy and dead.
Oh my god! Please, at some point, send me a link to that.
All right.
Well, okay, let's move on to the new news this week.
Oh wait!
What?
No, we do have new news this week. We do
a little bit.
Sony did things.
Now we should stay with operating systems.
Wait. We're going to do Apple, and then we're going to talk video games.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Is that
no? Yeah. Apple.
Oh,
E3.
Actually, you know what's really fun? I actually typed that. So okay, good. Good to know.
Of course, the keynote yesterday, head to head with the Microsoft.
Yeah,
keynote.
this is going to be the part where I shut up for about 20 minutes and let you guys hash it out.
Well, now there's some points I want you to ask you about, and you too, since you're both of you are Androidites. Okay, momentarily.
I went back.
You went back.
I went back. Steve pulled me in. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you have till fall.
I have to. No. Yeah. Oh no. I have until later on tonight. I will send you exactly how, so you can get in on this too.
I've been thinking.
All right. Now here's how this works. All right. So Steve Jobs and Phil Schiller.
Wait, hold on. If you're gonna address them, you should address them right.
Sir Steve Jobs.
No, Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve.
Okay, so Uncle Steve and
because he's
my
so
second
cool.
cousin Phil Schiller.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like that cool uncle that you don't see often, but when you do see him, he gives you a lot of stuff that you want.
He gives you cool
fair.
stuff.
Yeah.
See, he's like your uncle you don't see very often. When you see him, he gives you like $20.
Yeah.
All right. So, and also your creepy uncle who sells fruit or a juicer of some kind on the side, Craig Federighi. Have you go look up Craig Federighi? Put a picture of him up on there and tell me that he's not selling juicers. Craig Federighi, he's now in charge of Mac OS, the Mac OS department. I don't know how to spell
Federighi, but I'm
Federighi. Craig
geez.
Federighi.
There he is.
He took over for Bertrand Serlet, who was in charge of the Mac OS for the last 15 years. And I miss Bertrand because he had a cocked eye, and he spoke half French, half English, and he referred to Snow Leopard as Snow Leopard.
Let me see.
And it made me laugh, and I really like Bertrand, and I miss you, Bertrand. Please come back. But now they have this guy named Craig, and he has giant eyebrows.
There he is.
He has giant eyebrows and salt and... That's Bertrand Serlet.
What?
That's Bertrand Serlet. He has a cocked eye.
Okay.
Craig Federighi looks like he sells sweepers at 2 a.m. on HSN. That's what he looks like. Anyways, you'll know when you see it. So anyways, they came out on stage and that guy. So for the people in the video, you could see it. That guy. Doesn't he look like he sells juicers?
Just Google it.
He does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him on a Ron Popeil.
If you put a carrot in here, you will get juice. It's amazing. That's what'll happen. That's what he's saying right now, even though he's standing in front of a bunch of Apple products. So, anyways, he comes out and he demonstrates all the new features of Mac OS X Lion, which are really cool, and they're really helpful to people who have real Macs. I really like what they did. I like how they pulled a lot of things from iOS into the Mac, like the Mail application.
People were really excited about Mail.
I'm pretty excited about Mail because as it is worthless.
Yeah,
to me.
Mail
Really.
right now stinks.
I've never had a reason to get excited or to use Mail on it.
mean, it was really cool when Sparrow was hot for like a month and a half. And then this just comes along and destroys Sparrow. So Sparrow's out. I don't need that anymore.
Okay.
They did a lot of things. I really like the fact that that Apple's going to single-handedly destroy Instapaper. That was nice too.
Yeah, poor Marco.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that Instapaper and or read it later. I like the reader view, the improved reader view. Safari's had this before. Yeah. And they improved it so it handles things even better. I mean, it's a lot of good things, a lot of just kind of
look at this one. Okay, your upgrade is $30, and I'm not even using a disc. Now, when Snow Leopard came out, it was incremental, a little bit nice to haves. It was $30. Why the hell not?
I want to point out something here that yesterday, the most expensive thing Apple announced was Leopard at $30.
Yep.
Think about that.
Wow.
The other bit that you actually have to pay, the only other thing on that show or on that keynote that they announced that you would have to pay for was iTunes Match for $25 a year. Mm-hmm. Other than that, everything else was free.
And you know, it just got to be really hard to pirate.
What?
Lion.
Yeah, because people were going to actually want to pay for it. $30? Yeah, I'll do it.
And it's on the App Store.
Did you see the
and it's only available in the App Store, and the price is so cheap that you're a real dick if you pirate it.
So, did you see... yeah, I mean, did you see the server add-on, though? If you want to make it a server OS,
I saw your tweet.
$50. Mm-hmm. So 50 plus 30. So for $80, you get a full-blown Active Directory domain controller. That actually can act. It's Lion. That goes all the way back to Leopard. It can act as an Active Directory domain controller, a mail server, a wiki server, a podcast server. Sorg, just throwing that out there. Yeah, $50.
Face I'm making.
Yeah. Hey, stunned face. Yeah, $50. Done. And it's just an add-on. And it just enables those parts.
You just do it.
Yeah. So for
explain to me. And I didn't get to see much of the keynote yet. I saw the people talking about the keynote while it was happening thing on Twitter. So explain Mission Control to me.
So Mission Control is a feature that is effectively like Expose, where if you hit a key and it brings all your windows up, but it starts to group them. There's
a picture there. So it's grouping your.
It takes spaces and Expose and kind of shoves them together. So at the top there, those are your different desktops or your full screen applications.
Yeah.
And then below that are your various windows.
You throw like the Safari windows are grouped together.
Yes,
Keynote.
but if you mouse over them, they actually split apart, and you can go to like the specific levels of organization to the windows that are on your desktop.
Okay.
That's basicave what it does.
Which seems kind of cool to me.
And it's going to become more and more important the more that they push the whole full screen application type thing.
Yeah, and I've seen bits and pieces in all the various videos that Apple has put out about full screen apps. And it starts to go back to like using an app on an iPad, and where just the only thing you see is that. The only thing you see is like iPhoto, or the only thing you see is iMovie.
Okay.
So you're not sitting there thinking about like, oh, hey, here's my IM thing bouncing up and down at the bottom, and here's a web page. It's got an ad floating in the back. It's just that application. I mean, it's a very simple thing. It's effectively, maximizing a window in Windows. But that full screen app it's designed to take advantage of every last, possible pixel on the screen.
I'm looking at your apps. The apps have completely turned into your management is completely turned into iOS.
That would be Launchpad.
I mean, this is Launchpad.
That is Launchpad. This is
instead of your apps popping up in the corner in a big menu, you get this. Like this screen comes up.
Yeah, you click Launchpad and that whole thing comes up. You can do it as a key.
Folders, just like iOS.
And all of these things like Mission Control and Launchpad, they're all accessible via multi-touch gestures.
Now, what's exciting about the obviously, there's a whole bunch of other multi-touch gestures coming into this. What are some of the exciting ones?
The big ones are the ability to switch apps with just 4 fingers across the trackpad.
Okay.
They've added in a couple of the pinch to zooms and rotation and all that other stuff. But one of the things that didn't get I would say a big enough push coming out of the keynote. 74% of Mac users are on laptops.
74%.
74% are on laptops.
Interesting.
I mean, why? Like, I know dudes who have Mac Pros, but they're a couple years old, and now they have like beefed out MacBook Pros.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get a MacBook Pros, you get the regular MacBooks, Apple's the new MacBook Airs. They've brought it down in cost enough that people are just going for the laptops, and they're not going for a desktop. I remember when the Magic Trackpad came out, and people went, "Who wants a trackpad for the desktop?" And then Apple puts out all these multi-touch gestures and goes, "This is why."
Yeah,
that was the whole purpose. They had to put that out and suffer the criticism of coming out with a desktop trackpad.
I'm having a good time. We got the Magic Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last actual mouse they put out. We got that on the iMac at one of my works. I've been enjoying it. With Final Cut, those gestures have been pretty nice.
Right.
And not having to worry with, because I know the little ball thing on the Mighty Mouse always got gummed up for me.
Oh, that thing was terrible.
It was horrible. The one at my old job, it's been gummed up for years.
Yeah.
And I tried to take a knife and try to get all the gunk out of it, and it just made it worse.
The one that I actually saw, there's actually a third-party product called, and this is really stupid, but it makes a lot of sense once you think about it. It's called the Magic Wand.
Yep.
Right. So it sounds really stupid, but all it is a half pipe of just aluminum, and it connects the Magic Trackpad and the wireless Apple keyboard together into like one big long thing. So they're not like two separate things on your desk. It's just one big long bar. And that's, I mean, literally all it is just something to hold them together.
That makes sense.
And it seems stupid until you see it together and you're like, no, that makes sense, because then you just have your little gesture thing. You have just effectively a gesture pad to your right, and then like a regular keyboard in front of you.
That makes sense.
It's like $25. It seems stupid, but
let's talk about iCloud.
Okay.
iCloud.
It was announced as what we expected. Now we know what the server's for. Down in North Carolina, and they showed the pictures.
Hands up if you called it.
Oh, we don't. I mean, everybody knew. Come on.
No, there were a lot of people who were saying like TechCrunch was over.
TechCrunch! Like anybody listens to TechCrunch anymore.
TechCrunch and a lot of the other Mac rumor blogs were saying that the big data center in North Carolina was for the nuanced voice technology stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That it was not for whatever cloud services that Apple's going to provide. I was like, you don't build a data center that big for voice control. I'm sorry, I don't care how much processing power you need. It doesn't need to be that big. The picture they showed of the two tiny little people standing on top of the building. I mean, that, by the way, the big winner in all of this, in this nice little iCloud thing, hey, HP and NetApp, well done.
Okay, explain NetApp.
NetApp, I'm a very large fan of that company. They are a storage vendor. They formerly called Network Appliance, and they shortened it to NetApp. They build storage solutions mostly for virtualization clients. They also do big data stuff, just petabytes and bytes that don't have names yet of data. They literally build giant rackfuls of disk for companies to use, and they won the contract from Apple to store all of the iCloud stuff, and their big bread and butter is what's called deduplication. Do you mind if I get a little nerdy here, like really nerdy?
Why not?
Have you ever heard of block level storage?
No.
All right, so
and here's a picture for you on the video of the data center.
The data center itself in Cary, North Carolina.
Those are kind of cars back there.
Yeah, I applied.
Is that a cooling tower?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
By the way, I applied for a job there a long time ago and didn't even get called back. So, anyways, it's called block level storage, and basically your data goes into these blocks, and then each block has a small signature to it. And when the operating system on the storage unit itself sees changes to data, instead of rewriting that data again, it just makes a pointer back to the block that wasn't changed. So if your file is block A, B, C, and D, and block C gets changed, it only writes block C and leaves A, B, and D alone. That way you don't have to use all of this space. When you're talking about virtual machines, you can save like 80% of your disk just by turning on deduplication. So you don't need to actually have all of this space because you're not actually using all of it. You're only using bits and pieces of it. So that's their bread and butter. HP is providing all the server horsepower behind it. You can see a bunch of DL360 G7s and DL380 G7s in the data center picture. They showed one of just the racks going on forever, and then they showed one with all the doors off, and you can see the various bits and pieces. You can see the discs and the filer heads and all that other stuff.
Oh, that's
Rob. Rob is not the data center. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that you can see that they have. I can't really see it on the tiny little screen here. So, but those are the racks with the doors off. A massive amount of cooling, a massive amount of power goes into this.
Yeah, it's probably like 20 degrees in that room. Has to be.
I would say it's probably closer to 60.
Really? Because the server room at work is 25 degrees. So
that's a little cold.
That's a little cold.
If our server room is that cold...
When you get that cold, you risk condensation.
Yeah, you risk condensation at that point, which would then cause water in the server. And,
I didn't create the server room.
You should fire whoever did.
Yeah, any low temperature. I actually have low temperature alarms on servers that I take care of.
I'm pretty sure the person that put together that server room has long left the company.
Anyways,
in one way or another.
But yeah, so NetApp and HP are the actual big winners in all of this because they got the huge contracts to provide all the hardware for iCloud. But what iCloud does is it syncs all of your stuff, your contacts, your calendar. I mean, there have been other services that have done this before. This is not
But this
new.
is built in, is the big thing.
There's one company that I would trust to do this server, the service, and it's Apple.
Right.
Okay.
Anyone else could present this service to me, and I'm going to laugh at them.
Google's done this for a very long time.
Yeah, and I still don't trust them.
Right. I mean, we have our show notes for this show. Here's a disclosure.
We're big
it's
fans.
Google
Big fans
Docs.
of Google Docs.
I have a Gmail account. My calendar is in Gmail. Most of my contacts are in Gmail. I mean, it's a lot of that. Google has a lot of my life there. But I'm probably going to jump over to iCloud.
Now this is a comment. This feels like a lot of catch up for stuff like Google Docs we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're of course they have the apps here, iTunes, App Store, Photos, iBooks, Contacts, Calendar, Mail, which Mail is already kind of up in the cloud, right?
Mail, for the most part, Mail is in the cloud. A lot of the stuff they have is former Mobile Me stuff.
Yeah.
But from what Uncle Steve said on stage, they threw it out.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if they rewrote it. This wasn't announced. This wasn't said. But there's the possibility that they rewrote it to be better.
That's the idea. He came up on stage during the keynote and said, "So Mobile Me."
That was
not one of our finer moments.
No. And if you haven't heard this story, there's a Fortune article somewhere that never made it out to the internet because Fortune wants to make money off of writing things, which is ludicrous, I guess. But there was a story that Steve Jobs, after Mobile Me came out and was universally panned and basically no one liked it, Steve gathered up the team and a bunch of other employees, brought him into an auditorium. He got on stage and said, "Hey, can anyone tell me what Mobile Me does?" And some brave soul in the crowd said, yeah, it does mail and contacts and stores them all remotely so that you don't have to have them on your local machine. And Steve looks at the guy and says, "Okay, then why the F doesn't it do that?" And proceeded to fire the manager of the team, inserted another manager, and made them rewrite it.
That's because Uncle Steve was pretty smart.
Uncle Steve is pretty smart.
Yeah.
But
just throwing that out there in case you were unaware.
The idea behind iCloud is that you don't have to sync your stuff with your desktop or laptop anymore. One of the big positives / negatives of iOS is the fact that it is tethered at some point to a computer.
Yeah,
it has to be.
That's the biggest complaint I've heard in probably the last month leading up to this announcement.
Yeah,
saying, "God, they got to get rid of that."
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. I'm tied to this computer. I have to sync with my one iMac upstairs, not with my laptop, because I had the iMac first. I
actually don't plug mine into a computer ever. I remember how I said I was going just streaming only.
Yeah,
I did that, and I have one song on my iPhone.
And now you haven't had a place to back your phone up.
No.
Now you will.
Now I will. I'm gonna say, "Hey, Uncle Steve, can I put my stuff here?" And he's gonna go, "Yeah, totally." And I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
No theoretical limit on songs. No limit on songs. That 5 gigs.
That's the other thing. Okay, so it's storing your documents like in Pages. So I'm starting on Pages on my iPad, now my iPhone, by the way. I also said that in iWork. This is already built in the last update from last week.
Right.
What that made them universal apps. Pages, Keynote,
all the iCloud stuff was built in with
already
the last
built
update.
in there, right? Your photos, you take a picture on your phone, and it'll automatically upload it and download it on your iPhoto at home.
Yes.
So
I am not a...
your last 1,000 pictures will remain up there.
And I don't like... This was my biggest problem with it. The idea here, to me, with a cloud, quote-unquote, is that you can put your stuff there and not have to worry about putting it somewhere else.
There's a bit of management now. Now and then
the difference here, though, and I think this will pan out. Apple's dropping this for free to get people in the door to start using their services and so on and so forth.
There has to be some limitation to that.
At some point, I believe they will bring out premium plans to say, hey, you want your pictures forever up here? That'll be another $25 a year. Or that'll be another $50 a year. Rob, how much is Flickr Pro?
$25 a year, I think.
Okay. So for $25 a year, Apple says, hey, put all your stuff up here. And we'll give you, all the storage you want for all your pictures, this, that, and the third. Effectively the same thing they did for music. I think that it eventually will say, okay, hey, here's your photo. Oh, hey, here's our next update to iCloud. We're going to let you put video up here now. And then your video will get to go up there. And then for another, $25 a year or however much it would be, you can put all your videos up there. And eventually it'll be a cloud storage solution, and you will be able to pay a sum of money per year to store your data somewhere else. Mm-hmm. My music will be going there the day I can get it in there.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Not even a question. That's $25 I'm happy to spend. I'm still disappointed in this announcement because it doesn't have the one thing I want. I want Pandora plus this. I want them together, and I want to have my stuff. I want my stuff, and then I want other stuff streamed in based on what I have. I want that mixed in. I'm gladly willing to pay for that as a subscription service. Not even a question.
So, like a Pandora that looked at your entire library.
Correct.
Okay.
That would put my stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I have songs from artists that I know are not totally on Pandora. They have like one album on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have a bunch on there. They just have some on there. I want my music mixed in with other stuff. So if I'm listening to, I don't know, there's an artist, his name's Random, aka Mega Ran, a big fan of his. He has one album in Pandora. I know this for a fact. I have a Pandora station with his music, but that's it. And I get like a track from that every like 50 songs.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that gets played, but I want to listen to his stuff. But I know he only has that one album that somehow got into Pandora. And there's no way for artists to put their stuff into Pandora. Mm-hmm. So even if he wanted to, he can't get it in there. And so he comes out with a CD that I buy, but I can't listen to it with my Pandora because Pandora doesn't have it. And it's rather annoying.
Let's talk about the App Store cloudness. Again, like the iTunes, and this is already implemented. My phone's showing it already. I don't think it's on the iPad yet, is it?
It should be.
It should be? Okay, I haven't seen it on the iPad yet. I haven't checked late today.
I have a jailbroken iPhone, so I can't exactly look at that right now because I have 421. Darn.
But if you have the newest version, you're able to go in on my apps. You go into updates, and they'll say purchases, and you'll have a screen that says all, and like you can't see that, all and apps not on my phone. Now, I recently, if you read my blog over at sorgatron.com, I have a new 3GS.
You do?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
This little dooflicky is weird. I have a month left on my Apple Care, and the fella said, hey, I'll replace it anyways.
You should have said, can I get a 4?
I don't think they
You could have asked.
I could have asked.
Hey.
I was amazed they had a 16 gigabyte 3GS. They don't sell those anymore.
I'm just saying, you could have just asked.
I could have just asked.
The worst that dude's going to say is, no, I'm going to slide you a 3GS.
I was very excited to say, well, it's not really covered hardware for Apple Care.
You could still slide it in there.
It's $199, but then he looks at me and he's like, but I'm going to do it anyways.
I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah. Oh, no, dude was completely excited to be able to do this. Like, he's been waiting for this use case to come in with somebody with a cracked screen.
The issue here is that all you had... I guess you could have just said, hey, can you slide a phone?
I was happy he was doing that.
Well, obviously, I would have just asked. I wouldn't have pressed the issue. I would have been like, hey, man, can you slide me a 4?
I mean,
and if he had said, like,
I gotta
no, I'm
last
not hooked you
until
with this
fall
3GS.
now to get my iOS 4S, so I got a nice new 3GS to last me that'll go
And it doesn't update your contract.
And it doesn't update my contract.
Yeah,
and, Gazelle, it's going to go for a good penny when that gets upgraded.
So,
since it's mint condition.
So this, the app, I don't know if I saw this and I couldn't tell if it was really what it said it was doing. Did I see background app updating? I thought I saw that in there somewhere.
Yes.
So like I saw like automatic updates.
I think that's more with iOS 5.
Delta updates, isn't that what that is?
No.
Well,
there was something
that's
like
something else.
I saw something that was like automatic updates. Like, hey, the Twitter app has an update. Automatically downloads it, automatically installs it on my phone.
I don't think it does it yet.
I want that.
It doesn't do it yet. I think iOS 5, though. I'm pretty sure
That's what I was saying.
That's
That's what I was saying. Is it in iOS 5? If it's in iOS 5,
yeah, I'm like 90% certain it's in iOS 5.
If that's in there, I'll
Mine
have it
does
tonight.
that.
Yours is stupid. Shut up, Chachi.
No, mine didn't.
Well,
Mine does.
It would just say that there are updates available, and then I had to go in and go get them.
Mine does that
With regular apps or just overall OS?
with everything.
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
the
I had to
versions.
go in
and-
and-
It's an option. It doesn't come on by default.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
But, yes.
I didn't dig in that much.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody's looking for a lightly used LG Thrive, contact the
Can
AwesomeCast.
we move on to the part I'm excited about?
Are we
Are we done with Apple?
No, we're not. We're just getting to iOS.
Oh,
All right,
on.
real quick.
Let me
real
bang out
quick.
iOS 5.
Why are you getting rid of your Android, AJ?
Because iOS 5 gave me no reason to ever look away from Uncle Steve's fun
So to
stuff.
tie up the iOS thing, iTunes Match.
Yes.
Yeah, iTunes Match. It's effectively Google Music.
Without actually uploading.
With minimal uploading. Let's be
Okay.
real honest here. There are going to be things you need to upload. How many of you are AC/DC fans? Hands up if you're an AC/DC fan.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you guys. Yeah, they're not in the iTunes store. That one. will be matched.
Balls.
Yeah, nobody looks at these sorts of
What
things.
the hell?
Yeah, somebody told me about that the other day.
AC/DC.
They were like, "Yeah, AC/DC's not in there." I was like, "What? Really?" Yep, they're not in there.
Wow.
I'm a pretty
big AC/DC
what they'll do,
fan too.
what they'll do is they'll scan your library, find the songs that are already in the iTunes store,
Update them to 256K.
update them to 256K AAC without DRM, and we'll basically make your entire music collection legitimate.
Yeah. So
Which I think
if
is
you
really
happen to
nice.
have, let's say, a bunch of years ago, you went crazy and you pirated, I don't know,
20 pieces of music.
Beatles, Abbey Road. How about that? Uncle Steve is going to take care of that for you.
Uncle Steve's going to hey, do you remember that time? Man, I remember that one time that I downloaded an entire Metallica album. Oh, wait, no, Uncle Steve's got me. Uncle Steve just single-handedly destroyed music piracy.
That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, Chachi, you've seen the stack of CDs I have.
Uh-huh.
I got them all ripped in my computer.
Yes.
That just all went in the cloud.
Yes.
Right. The other,
Yeah.
and then if it's not able to be matched in the iTunes store, you can still upload it.
They will upload it.
They will upload it. So you'll be able to get
with
your
no
things.
foreseeable
Nope.
limit to that.
No foreseeable
Or does
limit.
that go into the iCloud?
No, it doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Doesn't count
because
to the
it's
5
a
gigs.
service you're paying for.
Correct.
Okay,
So Apple's just letting it
my is Mega Ran in the iTunes
He
store.
has like
is
half of his stuff is in
my
there.
Scrub Club stuff, which are free downloads, obviously aren't in the store.
Right.
So they'll take care of that for me, and that
will
just
be in
became
there.
streaming for me.
Yeah.
And I don't need to put crap. on
I'm
my
interested to see how it actually works because I've seen the iCloud stuff talked about as syncing,
phone. Yeah.
and I want to see if there's there's no web interface, so you're still going to need iTunes
Okay.
to connect.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously I have iTunes on my work laptop. I have it at home on my desktop. So fine, I have iTunes in different places. It would be really cool, Apple, if you could write a really sweet web app that would allow me to play my music, just for grins wherever I am. Oh, hey, I'm at a party and I know this laptop or my friend's laptop doesn't have iTunes. I want to go to music.apple.com, sign in with my iTunes account, and play my
That'd be
music that I pay
amazing.
you for.
That'd be amazing.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening, but I think it should happen. I mean, that's the next logical step. Let me play it anywhere.
They don't have a web interface for anything.
Yeah, they do. Hey,
Mobile Me.
why doesn't anybody remember iWork.com?
Because it was crappy, that's why.
It was crappy, but it existed.
It did exist, but
wanna
it was awful. Apple stays out of the web interface business for a reason.
Hey, it can be awful all at once, too. Can we go to iWork.com and see if that still exists?
We can do that.
Because everybody keeps glancing over that because they're like, oh, man, you need to get now they got this iCloud stuff. They need to get a web interface
it's
for
the
Pages.
beta for their
beta
for their Google Docs variant thing.
Exactly. Link that with iCloud, and ta-da! You now have a Google Docs competitor, straight up. But nobody remembers this because it was awful. Mm-hmm. And all they have to do is make it nice and pretty. Actually, no, I want to say that whenever they came out with an update to iWork, they actually mentioned the fact that they updated it.
I can now publish doc. I just signed in with my Apple ID and I'm right into it.
Ta-da!
I'm in there.
That's part of the thing.
That's cool.
Ta-da! So they have a web interface for iWork. Now, if
basically
iWork
what they would need to do for this whole thing to work is take the idea of like the mobile iWork interface, like the Google Docs-esque thing, and basically make like a mobile.itunes.com that would look exactly like iTunes. That's what it would come out to be.
Don't they kind of have a line in that? Because they have the web pages for the docs, for the apps. Mm-hmm. You know, they kind of have a gateway thing already happening.
Yeah, they've had that for a while.
So I think it's like
it's tied in. They just have to build it and get all the licensing and make all that work.
To finish off iOS, notifications.
The notifications, which they I'm really sorry, David Ashman, but they totally jacked lock info.
Yep.
And I'm really sorry about that. I retweeted him. He was in the crowd at the keynote and had to watch his own product rewritten by Apple get shown on stage.
Well, that happened to quite a few people.
That was he was
like the using the volume button for the camera. Yeah, remember last year when they pulled Camera Plus out of the App Store for doing that?
I did just notice as I was looking at my purchases, the Camera Plus does have an update. Hopefully, it's not a fuck you Apple.
But I think this was really funny, and I loved his response was, well, looks like I just got to make lock info better. That was his response, and I retweeted it saying, "That's the spirit."
Yeah,
it's all about competition.
Instead of all these Twitter clients who just first getting screwed because Twitter steals their API ideas, and then now Twitter's built into iOS,
but not as an app, not to read Twitter. App.
You still can't read, and you can't retweet. You still need a Twitter app to read.
So
Twitter.
all it does is receive notifications.
All it does is receive notifications and send tweets. That's it. It's not a replacement for your Twitter app.
Okay.
It just isn't.
That's not bad. But some people, maybe that's all they need.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of people. That's all they're going to need. But at the same time...
and the iMessenger thing is pretty important.
iMessage. Oh, by the way, hey, Research in Motion, that was really fun having you as a competitor. Thanks for playing. See you in the schoolyard.
Messaging is going to show up on the iPad, all the other iOS devices that don't have SMS or MMS.
Right. It still shows up in the Messages app.
Yes.
iOS devices.
Blue messages. So when you're texting, text messages are green. iMessage is blue. Ta-da! All done. So I'm dropping my text message plan down to like the lowest plan because I don't need it anymore. Because the only person I actually text is my fiance, and
she's got an iPhone.
She's got an iPhone. Done.
There you go. So if you live in that ecosystem of all Apple fanboys, then you're fine.
Yeah, then you're fine. The other thing that I want to throw out here that I just saw on my way over here, don't tweet and drive. I saw it at a stoplight. Some nice person figured out a way to just put iOS 5 on your current device, and you don't have to have a developer account. Double tap, or you put it on there, and it will bring it up to an activation screen. Double tap, that brings up voiceover. Double tap again, that brings up emergency call. Tap emergency call while it's switching to do the emergency call. 3-finger swipe down brings up the notification. Tap the weather app brings up the weather app. Hit home and it's activated.
Wow,
that's actually true.
That's like the Konami code of.
It's the Apple code. It's the Apple Konami code.
It's amazing.
Up, down, left, right, BA, iOS 5.
Do we have a link to this or something?
Yeah, hold on. It was on Gizmodo. I saw it.
We'll
I haven't tried it.
We'll tweet it out. We'll look it up after the show.
We'll look it up after the show. Yeah. We'll tweet it. Okay. I am going to personally try it with my iPad.
Let me know.
I'm not going to do it with my iPhone because I need my iPhone to make phone calls. But my iPad just sits at home.
You know what? As a 3GS, I'm willing to experiment.
And I have a 3GS sitting at home, but it's unlocked, and I still haven't seen. Does anybody know what the modem firmware for the for iOS 5 is? If they changed it?
No idea.
All right, because the problem right now is that I have the iPad 3G's firmware on a 3GS, and in doing so, I've blocked myself from getting new updates.
Oh.
Because they couldn't unlock the current version of the modem firmware, so they unlocked the iPad 3Gs and then got a way to shove it into the iPhone. It doesn't work out so well.
I think we need to move on before Chachi dies.
No, I'm not going to die. I'm
Chachi.
good.
Chachi.
I'm just a little impatient. I'm antsy.
Your eyes are huge, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, the AwesomeCast.
It's E3.
It's E3.
All right.
Okay, this is my favorite time of the year.
Can I introduce Chachi here?
Go for it.
Go
Ladies
for
and gentlemen, from the makers of the AwesomeCast comes Chachi's Video Game Corner.
Okay, so I'm gonna get through this as quick as possible.
No. Take your time.
Well, no.
We took our time with Apple.
That's fine.
You take
Yeah.
your time with
Well,
video
no,
games.
By the way, AJ, it is 13 till.
I typed up my recap, and then we can go back and
Hold on, I need
we'll cover everything we have to cover. All right,
Are we taking this a system at a time?
I'm gonna go through it all, and then we'll go back.
You're going to give us your report,
Yes.
and we're going to comment.
This is Chachi's
Okay.
E3 report. Go ahead.
Microsoft, blah 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 sequels, blah 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 reboots, Connect support for sequels, Connect voice control, YouTube and live TV for Xbox Live. Next, Sony recap. We are so sorry. Blah 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 sequels, blah 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 3D, PlayStation moves, PlayStation Vita. It has dual analog sticks, 5-inch screen, front and rear touch screens, front and rear cameras, Wi-Fi, 3G. It's supposed to take social networking and on-the-go gaming to the next level. See how well that goes. Partnering with AT&T for
Which got booze in the audience, I hear.
Well, go.
which covers the 3G and their release prices. It'll be out this holiday season. $290 or $249 for Wi-Fi, $299 for 3G. Thanks for playing, Sony. We'll see you next time.
May I add?
Hold on,
Sony, I really want to be an iOS device.
Hey,
Also,
Sony also I just got a message from Sony. They still say they're sorry.
yeah, and both companies are offering cloud saves, which means you can take your save games anywhere. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next year. Nintendo.
No, I'm excited about that.
Nintendo wins E3,
Okay.
hands down.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm not even talking about the 3DS crap.
Go ahead.
Because once again, Nintendo sequels, blah blah blah. The Wii U. That's where Nintendo wins.
Okay.
Okay, AJ, stop it.
Oh, go ahead.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Hey! You suffered through the Apple stuff. I'm gonna suffer through you talking about Nintendo. Go ahead.
the point of E3 is to come out and blow the crowd away.
Yes.
You're not supposed to come out.
It's a big rock show. I mean, I
Yes.
was watching the live coverage. It's
they
loud
have-
noises,
they have a-
dark
they
lights,
had a
sexy
symphony.
girls.
They have
mean,
they have a crane camera for the keynotes.
They had an orchestra playing Zelda to
Yes.
open Nintendo.
yes.
Okay.
Which is gonna be a
Oh,
tour.
man.
Which is gonna be a tour.
Hey, remember
Okay.
my prediction?
What?
Remember my prediction?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
My
Hold on,
prediction
we'll get
about
back
the
to your.
Nintendo thing. Come on.
Okay, so you do not go to E3 and announce that, oh, we're sorry that people keep hacking our servers. All right? No, you don't do that. You don't go to E3 and say, oh, it's been
the way-
10 years since we released Halo. Let's do it again.
Hey, by the way, Sony just got hacked again.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just guessing.
No, they did. A group called Lowell Security announced yesterday.
No. I'm guessing like just now.
Yeah,
It's like one of those bad like driving statistics. Like once every like 33 seconds, a driver rear ends somebody. It's like once every like
right
6
now,
seconds.
you are
Sony gets
safer
hacked.
on a plane than you are being a Sony server.
Correct.
Nice.
okay.
That's fair.
All right, so the Wii U. All right, let's start with just the fact that it supports all of the third-party games that Sony and Xbox both support. Okay, so
Wait,
that
time
means
out. Like you're gonna just be able to play like just,
Assassin's Creed.
you'll just be able to play like an Xbox game.
No, I mean the companies that support that make games
they're putting out Xbox, PlayStation type games. Their video showed, while not running on their hardware, they were showing footage from versions of Ninja Gaiden 3.
Yes.
What else? Another Tekken. Like a lot of high end video games, like you're playing.
Electronic Arts.
Electronic Arts
came out and said, "You know what, Nintendo? We got your back."
And then they said, "Hey, Nintendo, we've not been on this stage for a while, if ever, and we're pretty down with this right now."
Yeah. So let's start with the controller. The controller has L1 and L2, R1 and R2, 2 3DS style analog pads, a D-pad, 4 face buttons, a gyrometer, an accelerometer, a video camera, a microphone, and a 5-inch touchscreen. Okay. Mm-hmm. Backwards compatible with Wii. All of the plugins you have for your Wii,
all of my Wiimotes, my Wii Fit, my Wii Zapper, all there.
All works with Wii U. So, AJ,
go ahead.
You have a fiance.
I do.
How many TVs do you have in your house?
I have one.
One? So, all right, and I'm not saying that you're going to, because...
Hypothetical situation.
Yes, hypothetical situation, AJ. You go
if you're
out...
listening, Abby, this is all hypotheticals. Just putting that out there.
Yes, all hypothetical. So you go out, you buy a Wii U, all right?
Uh-huh.
You're sitting there, you're playing Madden.
Okay.
Okay?
Looks like a Game Gear.
It kind of does. Abby comes in and says, AJ, can you shut that off? I'd really like to watch something on TV.
Okay. I'm still listening.
You can change the channel and keep playing your game.
Does it just shows up on the touchscreen?
Yeah, it just shows up on the touchscreen.
That's pretty sweet.
It's not a portable console.
It's not a portable console. There's
just
no
a portable
latencies.
screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
no latencies issues.
That
all wireless.
I want to see that no latency stuff. I really do.
It's like a Dreamcast Plus.
It is. It is like a Dreamcast Plus.
And you can use the controller to make phone calls.
What?
No, no. There's video conferencing.
Yeah,
there's video conferencing on this thing.
Time out. I'm calling Shens. Time out.
Yes.
I was
have been called.
I was playing Mario Kart 3D, and then I said, "Hey, I need to make a phone call."
No, it's a video phone call. There's a camera on the thing. There's a microphone.
Don't try to legitimize this. It's ridiculous.
What? Come on.
Look, I haven't played the Nintendo Wii that I own in over a year.
Me neither.
I probably haven't turned on the last time I turned on my Xbox was
Yeah, I know.
Netflix.
That's why I said it was hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical situation that I was actually playing video games.
Yeah, I know.
So Nintendo, okay, Nintendo, I see what you did here. You're trying to do something innovative, and I applaud you. Because I'll tell you what, Sony and Microsoft are just doing the same crap they've been doing for the last, 15 years.
Exactly. And you know what? This system comes out next year.
2012.
They're going to sell out, and it's going to be like the Wii all over again.
Well, not only that, they're going to continue to sell out, because the next Sony or Microsoft devices...
Like 2014.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the Xbox 360 is supposed to stick around for quite some time.
We've just turned into this thing where you know how like I buy my 3GS and I'm hurting for a year because I'm waiting for another generation now for this one that just got delayed till the fall. Now the Nintendo just did this.
But
Nintendo
Right.
Nintendo just became the off-season console.
Yeah.
Did just pointing this out there, which came first? PlayStation 3 was dead last.
Xbox came out first. The Wii and the PlayStation 3 came out the same season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And people didn't want to pay $800 for a PlayStation 3. They paid $250 for a Wii.
A price point for the Nintendo phone gear?
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Because I feel like if they don't hit the same comfy price point that the Wii hit, that people aren't going to buy.
I'm guessing $250 to $3.
Yeah, they're going to. Because Nintendo, believe it or not, Nintendo can sell this system for whatever they want, and they're still gonna make crap.
Here's a point that was brought up in conversation in relation to this. It's not against or anything like that. And yes, they do have to hit that same price point, but that's going to include one of these controllers. All the games show somebody with one of these controllers, and everybody else has Wii Notes. Remember, like we talked about Pac-Man Versus back in the day.
Right.
We played it on our GameCube. You were playing Pac-Man on your Game Boy Advance, and then everybody else was the Ghosts. I saw 3 different variations of the same concept. It looks like what they're pushing there.
Okay,
which is nice because it's built in.
Now, does the Wii U, which is a terrible name, Nintendo,
I really hope they come out with fake university T-shirts.
They should.
Well,
I want like a Wii hoodie. Can I get it established 2012?
I stopped paying attention to Nintendo's naming scheme once they named the Wii.
Yeah, because that was terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
like
mean,
Wii U, that's 2 pronouns in a row. Nintendo.
yes. Exactly.
Not in my house. Not in my grammar world.
The Japanese had enough trouble saying "we."
I would like
I
to.
really hope they come out with a messaging service and they call it the Wii U Mii.
I have a
Wii U
rebuttal
Mii?
for you.
Wii U? No, actually, Rob, the messaging service would be called They.
Okay, rebuttal. Hit me.
Name a system that doesn't come with just one controller.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Since the beginning of time.
That's true. But
When was the last? What was the last system that came with 2? Super Nintendo?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Super Nintendo.
But
Super Nintendo Chalmers. Sorry, I can't say Super Nintendo without saying that. I'm really sorry.
I'm just saying, it's a topic that
It's
you're
standard.
only getting one of these controllers.
Well-
This is going to be $100 controller.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
expensive.
gotta be. Even a year
80.
from now, it's gotta be $100 controller.
Look
They'll
at what
do
is-
it for $99.
Now the Wii's
Just for the
going to
price
be
point.
They will.
they're going to be saving a lot of money because granted that thing's supposed to look as good as the PlayStation and the Xbox, but how
happens-
old of tech? Yeah, in 2 years they're going to be screwed. 2 years they're going to look old hat because PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 720 comes out.
But again, I'm still putting this out there. The PlayStation, whatever the PlayStation 4 does, it's still going to try and put crazy graphics like above everything else.
Well, it's going to be more.
And clearly security was one of them.
Yes, exactly.
But they're going to try and put out some giant, spec-laden machine that nobody, oh, hey, it's going to be $800 and it's going to...
3D is going to be built
Oh,
in,
man, I'm
whatever.
going to get motion sickness playing Call of Duty on that.
I'm calling it now. The PS4 is going to look like that.
Yeah, the PS4 is going to be just a desktop PC.
Yeah, it's going to be that
They're
big.
just going to go to Newegg and go, okay, how much is it going to cost for us to get like 30 million,
Exactly.
like 2 gig NVIDIA?
No, only like
What's that gonna
3,000
cost?
because
Doesn't the PlayStation 3 already have like 12 cores or something like that?
Well, it uses the Cell processor, which I saw you tweet about the IBM Watson's brains going into the new Wii.
Yeah.
Right?
Which they've been IBM since the GameCube.
Right, they've been IBM since the GameCube. The other Sony came out with their Cell chip, which was supposed to be this crazy processor-intensive thing, right?
Yeah.
To the point where I believe the Air Force actually bought like 50 PlayStation 3s, linked them together, and was using them as grid computing.
Yeah. And there's a look at the console. Looks like the Wii now, just a little more rounded edges. Interesting. Oh, there's a stylus. So Steve Jobs already hates this.
So this is a resistive touchscreen?
Apparently.
Really?
Apparently.
Okay, so that controller will be $75 and not a penny more. I guarantee it. That I don't care how much.
It'll also be terrible.
The reason I say that, and the whole reason I say that is that's a resistive touchscreen. That technology is cheap.
Okay.
That's easy to get a hold of.
Okay.
The fact that it has a stylus, that's not a capacitive touchscreen, which is what your iPhone, iPad, and all your Droid and stuff
So are we
have.
talking more like what you have on
like a Palm Pilot?
Well, I was
Yeah,
thinking
like
the
a Palm
Storm,
Pilot.
the
Remember those?
BlackBerry Storm.
How long ago?
No,
was that?
Storm's capacitive.
Is it capacitive?
It's capacitive, but it still has like a button.
Yeah, I had
behind
that
it.
button thing. Okay. Oh, what was that, Rob?
I was just making fun of Nintendo. You can go on.
Continue. Go ahead.
So obviously, this system will have a brand new Mario game, and we'll have a brand new Zelda
Not
game.
only will it have a brand new Mario game, sir, but it'll have a Mario game in which you can import your Mii and run alongside with Mario.
What? Did
I
they
don't
show
want
this?
that.
Did they show this?
I just want to play as Mario because it's.
It's in my notes.
When did so let's see. I was born in '86.
Child.
Yeah, right. Chachi, when were you born?
83.
83, right?
That was
Like
84.
81.
81.
Hey,
All right.
Dad.
So, so we are all familiar with the Nintendo childhood, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Where, Mario had his heyday.
We
and
are
all
the
that good stuff.
Nintendo generation.
Right? You could head down to James Way, buy a
James
Nintendo,
Way, man.
$100. I still have the box for my Super Nintendo with a $100 James Way price tag on it.
Yo,
My
mine
God.
came with. No, I bought my Super Nintendo at Children's Palace. Anybody else remember that place?
That's where the toys are.
I'm just Children's Palace is where the toys are.
So
And
my
I sold
question
Ninja
here
Turtle
is
to get it.
because Nintendo's game plan for the time being and for the last 10 years has been like the summer movie previews where it's nothing but sequels.
Yeah, that's been the case.
So how long does it take for the sequel juice to run out?
Well,
Because it's going to work with our generation.
I don't know.
But will it
I
work
think
with the
a Zelda Symphony tour, as Chachi. What was your thing, Rob? When are they going to run out of people to play Zelda?
I did the thing. I said
running out of people who used to play Zelda.
Who used to play Zelda? Yeah. I had notes for everything where Apple did something cool. Microsoft is surprised, and no one. Somebody edited my thing. Who did that?
Another thing that I'm mad about.
That doesn't make any sense.
Jumping off of the Nintendo gravy train here, going back to Microsoft.
That's fine. I
They
allow it.
still don't have the one thing that I want.
I was
on my
actually going to
Xbox.
bring that up.
They still don't have
What's that?
Pandora.
Pandora.
All I want
Okay.
is Pandora. So that, like, if I have people over,
We got
turn 'em-
YouTube. We got YouTube.
Yeah, no. YouTube is not the same thing.
Okay.
No, I can't line up. I can't just put YouTube and put in 70s rock and have it play a bunch of songs for hours on end.
But I can watch my SmackDown, which isn't on Hulu Plus.
Fair. But all I want is the ability for Pandora to play on my TV. That's all I want. And I don't have to go buy anything new. My Xbox 360 does all of that. And all I want is to be able,
They are running out of things.
Pandora.
Well, let's talk about Xbox and what they are doing. Apparently, they are going to do IPTV. Now, more I hear about
as cool
this.
as I want them to do it.
No, what are they doing? Why isn't it cool enough?
So one of their first partners is Sky TV
It was their partner last year.
in the UK.
Yeah,
Not here.
and they're working on it here. What did they show?
Word.
They showed Castle stuff on CBS, ABC. So they're looking at partners here. They're negotiating here. There's been news about they're going to do an Xbox Diamond for this kind of service.
Right.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Here's the problem.
does not-
Forward looking, that doesn't make any sense.
So from an IPTV standpoint, you have no regions.
Right.
You have no boundaries on
Right.
what you can put on my television.
Right.
I want international channels on my TV.
You still got to negotiate national to national. You need to, the way they work, you need if you want Sky. Now you're saying you want Sky over
I
here.
want Sky because I know that Sky shows soccer matches from the UK. I want CBC from Canada. I want TSN from Canada so I can watch awesome hockey and have better coverage than the garbage they put on television here.
Play
I'm with him.
by the regional rules.
Which is dumb,
Which, yeah,
but
it
I
is
know
dumb,
that's why
but
they
that's
do
the
it.
industry.
It's
You
the
know,
industry.
it's just like all the red tape that Netflix has to go through to get in other countries.
Yeah.
But the real question here is okay, so this is going to come out 2014, right? That's the word?
Yes.
Or what?
No.
Okay.
This is the next Xbox Live update.
Oh, this is Xbox
Which will
Live.
come out
Okay,
in the
so
summer
forward looking, this seems incredibly dumb to me when you consider that a lot of networks are falling to pieces because the people actually producing the content are giving the big middle finger to the idea of regional concepts and things like that.
Right, but the problem is that regulation-wise, they can't. They still have to go through the. They still have to go through
Unless you
the
release it
network system.
online, then it doesn't matter.
Right. So if you go onto an IPTV system, you can do that. The problem is that how many content providers are looking at online and going, "Okay, that's cool. There's IPTV," or I can make sure that I get on network television and I can not have to worry about dealing with, oh, do I get the ratings? How do the ratings here work? You just get,
So maybe this is like a warm massage, and in 2014, everybody will have gotten their stuff together, and then release a legitimate.
It's
version
gonna
of
be
it.
it's gonna be half-hearted. You're gonna see some kind of offering where you're gonna get, maybe they strike a deal with NBC Universal / Comcast. Oh god, no, that will never happen. Never mind.
it won't.
Never mind. That's
No,
not gonna
that'll
happen.
never happen.
Okay,
Too
let's
many
say they
stupid-
went with Viacom. No, never mind. Wait a minute.
There are too many stupid people who wear suits who live in New York City and Washington, D.C. who won't
you're
let
going
this
to get
happen.
a subscription, and all you're going to get is Spike TV. Obviously, they're all over the Xbox service. You're going to get, let's say, USA. Let's say you'll get Comedy Central. Let's say you'll get one of the big networks. Let's say you get Fox. That's what they're going to offer at first. You're not going to get a complete solution. You're not going to be able to sit down and it's like, oh, I can turn on the Food Channel. You know, it's just not going to happen.
It's going to be a while before that happens.
They're going to have to go to each one of these networks or their parent companies or whatever and negotiate those deals individually. If they're, and they haven't said how they're doing. Okay, you said Sky Network, there's going to think, what is that? You're just subscribing to all the Sky channels? Select Sky channels? Is it like how you're getting ESPN3? Now they say it's not going to be restricted to your cable provider, your internet provider, like it is with ESPN3.
Well, that's an ESPN deal.
That's an ESPN deal, true. But they say it's not going to be tied to that, which is nice to see. So I'm not going to have to worry about Comcast just blocked everybody from getting IPTV, so they didn't have competition. I'm screwed because I'm in a I'm not. But a lot of people are screwed because they're in a Comcast-only network, or AT&T, or Cablevision, or whatever.
I'd like to thank Verizon for having all IPTV. Good job, you guys. I have IPTV in my house. I have 800 channels of that.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, Verizon is an IPTV, and that depends on your definition of IPTV as well. You can look at like Blip or podcast as IPTV technically. Depends on your definition. It's Internet Protocol TV. It's coming over your internet.
How do I get my TV on my IPs?
I would like to point out that we've spent most of the E3 time talking about Microsoft and Nintendo, further proving my point. Thanks for playing, Sony. We'll see you next time.
Sony released the TV. They're going to have a $400 or $500
Sony makes TVs?
I know, right? I mean...
Hey, Sony released a TV. I'd like to...
I'm going to smack you.
Dear Sony, thanks for playing GTFO.
Because I'm sorry, your PlayStation... The Wii U just made your PlayStation Move look like more and more of a child's toy.
Their controller looks like... various things that I can't talk about on the show because we're family.
Did you see the Killzone gun they're releasing?
The Killzone gun.
You put the lollipop into the gun.
Yeah. You're running around with a gun with a big purple sphere on the end of it. It is the lamest thing ever. And seeing that dork on television holding the gun trying to be bad, but he's still holding a big pink bubblegum bubble on the end of this gun looks so stupid. And Kevin Butler, your commercials are funny. You're dumb. Sony, you're dumb.
I
don't know. How do you say you're dumb in Japanese? How do you say that?
Oh, boy.
I'm certain that I could come up with a really offensive version of it if we were allowed to on this show.
Oh, Rob?
I just want to point out that this would be my fourth prediction that came true in the form of LOL, hey guys, check out my Laserdisc.
Yo, Laserdisc was sweet. I don't know.
Sony came out with a TV. Good way to catch up, guys. Way to catch up.
In a day and age where we see sales for 3D movies in the theaters softening. Softening.
Well, the other thing they're doing that when they set the cameras up for 3D, and then the next week they decide they're going to put a 2D movie in there, they don't take the setup off, so the 2D movies look darker. Another thing they've been doing, and it's stupid.
Yeah. So good luck with your 3D, Sony, because Blu-ray's working out for you. Because
it only does Blu-ray.
Let's recap tonight's episode.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Microsoft, the Windows department, and Sony, thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Congrats to Apple and Uncle Steve.
Nice job, Uncle Steve.
Nice job, Xbox.
Okay.
And nice job, Nintendo.
We didn't talk about Kinect.
Can we send Steve a card?
We should. A thank you card.
Voice control for Kinect? Anybody?
No.
Okay.
The coolest thing.
Kinect. Here's my thing. Okay, Kinect.
Can we blend shows here?
The voice. Okay, one sec.
Yeah.
The voice thing for Kinect makes it look more serious. This is like the next generation thing if it works. Okay.
It's not going to.
The voice search with Bing is interesting. So it's like what you have on your Android phone is on my Xbox now. Let's hope they do as good.
Oh man, I'm gonna Bing things from my Xbox. There's no web browser. Who cares?
What he said.
Maybe that comes with it.
So no, the coolest thing that they announced as far as the Kinect goes is the using the Kinect to take a picture of yourself and importing you as an avatar.
I forget what did they call it.
That's the only
what
thing.
did they call the thing? But it's basically a bunch of Kinect tech demos that you can download for free and check out.
Yes.
It's like they opened it up to that user community that hacked the damn thing a year ago and said,
and it started
here's
coming up
all
with
the fun
Kinect
stuff.
quad rotor helicopters.
Yeah, I mean it's just like crazy fun stuff. Hopefully one day this ends up in a game kind of stuff. But that's what they need to do. Because up until now, I look at Kinect, I'm like, God, do I want to Kinect? I look at it, it's like, no, I don't want to go river rafting. No, I don't need another Wii Sports. Not really interested in dancing. Now it's like EA is getting into the game with it. And you're seeing a lot more serious games getting into it, interacting with it. It's not the gimmicky stuff, which you're going to have that the first year. Now the real developers are coming around and say, how can we integrate this into our games?
Well,
and it's interesting. It's interesting.
Speaking of
until you have a Star Wars game that looks kind of cheesy because it looks like it's on rails, but a lot of
what was it?
Wanted
The
light
Modern Wars, Modern Warfare. What was the new
Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
That's the only thing I'm excited for the Kinect.
I'm not even excited for that.
What was the Kinect?
I'm just going to play it on my couch with a controller.
What about Mass
Bobby
Effect, where
Iron
you're
That's fine,
fighting and you say shoot bomb, while you're doing everything else.
Hey, they've done that before.
Hey, I'm just going to say this. I'm usually on a headset with my friends.
Right.
So if I'm saying like shoot bomb, like
It's called SOCOM.
yeah, people.
Okay,
PS2.
okay. So they've been doing that.
Yeah.
But the one that we came up with, you mentioned, and then I thought was cool, and then I thought about it for like 30 seconds. I thought, no, that's really dumb. Was WWE 12 with voice support from the Kinect? If that actually happened,
If you can,
and you're like cutting
that's right.
promos,
I was like, cut your own promo. I'm going to mention that later on the show.
cutting promos like mid game, no, I'm out because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay. I'm watching TV and it's neat and that's fine. I don't want to scream at my TV.
Yeah, we got kind of along with that on the wrestling tip. Hulk Hogan's coming out with a game. That's
Why?
That's a Kinect game.
Why?
You train with Hulk Hogan.
You know what training with Hulk
You
Hogan
train
is?
with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I can think of so many awful things
All
to
right,
say
we're
right
moving
now.
on
We're
from
gonna
that.
move
But
on.
UFC, Dana White was there.
Dana White is a shill.
Interactive UFC fights. That's
I fought my coffee table.
Interesting.
Woo!
no. They're talking about you're watching the fights and you're selecting there's the whole interactive who you think going to win and stats come up. And
Rear
all
naked
this
choke on a
crazy
body
stuff.
pillow. Just
Anyways, so let's go around. Chachi, obviously you think Nintendo won.
Yes,
Okay.
hands down.
AJ?
I'm going with Apple on this one.
No, I mean, they
No,
won
we're talking
E3.
E3.
Oh, E3? Oh, Nintendo wins. Apple wins E3 too because they have the biggest mobile gaming platform. They also threw that one out there, kind of.
Bingo.
Did you see the numbers for a Game Center? 50 million Game Center users. The Xbox Live has 30 million users.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have 20 million more users than Xbox Live does.
What was the other stat came out this past week, and they said it again at their conference. 40% of people on Xbox are not, or 4% of the time people spend on Xbox are not playing games.
It's not surprising.
It's considering that it's about 90% of my time is watching Netflix and Hulu on my Xbox. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. It's a lot easier for me to pull up an episode of The Daily Show than it is to play through the rest of BioShock. So,
Yep.
in the long run. Versus,
Sorry, game producers.
yeah,
Then maybe
yeah,
you shouldn't
yeah.
own an Xbox. Throwing that out there.
Maybe
I've
you
been
should
playing
just
more Angry Birds and NBA Jam on my iPhone than
maybe you should just go get like an Apple TV.
Yeah,
No.
Maybe you should just get
or a
one of
Roku
those.
box
Or
or
a
something.
Roku or like
But I already have it there.
You're owning. You own
I'm
an
trying
Xbox.
to remember. Rob, was it you that said that the Roku box was terrible? The
No,
other night?
I have Boxy,
Yeah, Boxy. That's
Boxy's
what it was.
rough.
and Netflix on Boxy makes me want to stab everybody in the face, including myself.
Wow.
You have a,
It's really, really terrible. If anything has encouraged me to buy an Apple TV, it's how bad Boxy is.
do you have a physical Boxy or like on a computer Boxy?
On a computer Boxy,
Okay.
which I'm pretty sure is the same
It's been
interface.
like half the stuff doesn't work for me anymore on mine.
You have to update it,
Yeah,
don't you?
well,
Oh,
that's
the-
a bitch.
Boxy box, boxy box, boxy box.
Rob, what do you think of E3?
What do I think of
Who
E3?
won?
I think Nintendo is going to run out of people who played Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Sony should just give up and shut down. Go back to making TVs, man. Samsung is rocking the TV market right now. They need some competition. Go back to doing that.
All right.
And I'm pretty confident that Microsoft is gonna. This is like a lukewarm offering for something that's gonna like rock your socks in 2014.
Yeah, they're just keeping the oven warm.
Yeah, exactly. They're just basically everybody else is still competing, so they're like, fine, we'll do something. Jeez.
They're resting on their laurels and they're expanding and bringing in other stuff.
I mean, this is. I mean, right now the video game market is there's 3 players. There's Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and all 3 of them are fighting over like the same 10%.
And Apple's like, hey guys.
And Apple's swinging in, just going, hey.
And Apple's like, hey guys, check out this thing that also plays games.
Hey, you know that iPod Touch you have in your pocket, in your car? Yeah, go ahead, open that up. We got Angry Birds. You want to play that? You want to play Call of Duty like 2 years ago? You could do that too. That's cool.
Google Chrome is currently nagging me that Angry Birds is available in the Chrome App Store.
Hey, Google Chrome. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's another OS that's going to go down the toilet. I mean, web browser is going to go down the toilet.
I still use Firefox.
OS 2 there. And for me, I think it's going to come down to Kinect stepping up this year, and they have if they can catch up before Wii U. I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Basically, there's 1 year that Microsoft and Sony have been given a 1 year warning by Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah.
You have 1 year to catch up.
But aside from that,
regardless of what you all think and what everyone thinks, Nintendo's not going anywhere.
No.
Oh, I don't think they are.
They're not going anywhere, but they're going to get more and more lukewarm. They're going to turn into Sony.
But they keep doing different stuff.
I don't like you anymore, Rob.
Gimmicks or whatnot. Last year they were like, "Hey, we got 3D on your console. No glasses. Probably won't hurt you so much." This year it's like, "Hey, your iPad." This is the other lesson I learned this year. Everybody wants to be the iPad. You got touch stuff on the PSP. You've already had touch stuff on the DS forever. They kind of beat iPhone to that. But now you got this controller on the Wii is going to be.
I mean, all you have to do is take a look at the sales on the 3DS to know that Nintendo is in trouble.
Well, the 3DS was just a terrible idea.
Oh, it's just a horrible. It's their bread and butter at the given moment.
It was still a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, that's the first time they have not gone gangbusters on a.
Yeah, when the 3DS came out, everybody was like, "Oh, that sounds really dumb."
They still got to be killing. They still got to be killing on the DS.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
Every game they release for the 3DS also is being released on the DS, and I'm sure it sells a hell of a lot better on the DSi than it does the DS.
Let's go nuts. And who wasn't at E3 and still has more mobile games? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Apple? Shit, crap, it is.
Actually, they are at E3. There were iPads shown.
they kind of like casually sauntered in. What's up, guys? Haters.
Apple isn't at E3, but the developers are there with their iPads running their games.
Yeah.
So
it's still a video game conference where EA shows up. They don't have hardware. You know.
Apple is at E3 without even trying, basically.
Yeah. Kind of like how they kind of took over the mood at CES this year. Right before they dropped the iPad 2.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody who was at CES, my friend went, he goes, dude, everybody was talking about Apple and what they were going to do.
And looking at these tablets and how we don't think it's going to...
I wanted to see a camera on the crowd at the Microsoft announcement because that was happening during the keynote. I want to see a camera on the crowd for when you see everybody in the crowd shove their face into their phone as they pay attention to the Apple keynote instead of what's happening on stage.
Yeah, there were a bunch, like one of my coworkers is a big video game guy, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Microsoft keynote." I was like, "Yeah, dude, Uncle Steve's going to be on like a half hour. Calm down." My attention is being drifted.
All right. Well, on that note, we do have to get out of here, guys. AJ, what's going on with you?
Still blogging.
AJEats.wordpress.com.
Yeah, latest one, buffalo chicken egg rolls. Just throwing that out there as a thing. That was delicious. So, you can still see that. At some point, I'll tell Sorg what my other blog is, where I actually blog sort of kind of nerdy stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, virtualpotholes.wordpress.com.
Virtual potholes.
Virtual potholes.
I like it.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of actual, like, super nerdy server storage stuff up there, too. But I did blog about, what the hell was it? Google and... There's something else. It was right around when Chrome came out, and they were talking about the
pothole or potholes?
Potholes, plural. It was about Google and something else, and I remember being upset about it. Oh, it was VMware, and how cloud computing I gotta
give you showed up to softball wearing a VMware T-shirt.
I did.
That was
I did. I got that one.
How many VMware T-shirts do you have?
Let's see. I have one.
Wears the same one over and over.
I have the purple one with the purple one with the triangles is the one I wore at softball, and I have a gray one that I don't think anybody's seen, and it just says all roads lead to the cloud. That I got at VMworld. I got like 2 or 3 T-shirts at VMworld last year. The purple one came in. It was shrink wrapped and like vacuum sealed as a small semi. And like
nice.
It was like really tiny. It was like this big. And then, like, you cut the packaging open and went poof, into a T-shirt.
Chachi, what's going on with you this week?
I find out Thursday what's going on with my leg.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Apparently, we have to determine the softball rules as to whether Chachi's, if Chachi goes on the injured reserve, does that open salary cap space for us to bring in a new player?
Right. Because AJ and I determined that between me and one other missing player, we would have won.
Yeah, we would have won hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I like it because it's still competitive this year.
It still would have been a lot closer than last year.
Yes.
Yeah, last year when we were losing, Sorg and I were on the same team last year. We were losing like 27-2.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me. The 3 of us were on the same team, and it was bad.
Nope. You have other stuff going on. What's going on online?
Nothing.
Yes, you have stuff going on this week.
No, I don't.
Trust me, I'm your personal assistant. You have things going on.
Your producer says you do.
Unsung just got released yesterday.
Oh! Okay, Unsung episode 3 came out yesterday, and it shot to the highest watched video on Pittsburgh on video.org.
I want to say you are owning all the top spots.
Yeah, so if you go to Pittsburgh on video.org, it's me, not me, 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 as top videos. If I remember correctly.
Something like that.
Who else is on Pittsburgh? Who else is on there?
A lot of people, actually.
Just that chick who drives a car.
I think I'm on there at some point. Was part of the Pittsburgh Promise.
These shows are on there.
Probably on there somewhere. I'm internet famous.
Yeah, me too.
So, what are we titling this show? I think we should title it that week or 1 year. 1 year old, we're still talking about the same stuff.
Sounds good. Rob, what's going on with you?
This weekend I've got the MS-150, that thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Where you ride a bike in support of MS.
In support of MS research and finding a cure. Smarty pants.
No, up until you said finding a cure, I was like, okay, so you're researching this, and does the research like help it get in further, or no? We want to fight.
Fighting the good
multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So last year when Rob was doing this, he kept saying that he was going to go on this bike ride in support of MS. So every time he talks about it, I have to make fun of him.
He does.
Are you supporting this, Rob, or are you fighting it?
I'm fighting MS and supporting the MS Society, which are the people who help people who have MS.
Sir, if you want to prove that to me, I suggest you ride your bike with no hands and you're just punching. The entire time while you're riding your bike, just punching just straight away. I'm fighting it.
That's going to be hard.
Riz says kick MS in the balls.
Will do. If I find MS's balls, I will kick.
How are we on AwesomeCast 54?
54?
We can't figure that out.
There's a leap year or something. I don't know. And of course, you can check out everything else going on Sorgatron.com for me. My encounter with a genius, Apple Genius. And SorgatronMedia.com. We're going to have a new show popping up there I'm doing with Justin Kalnacki.
Called?
Freelance for Reals. Okay, for real. But I will probably call it the other thing. We should put the Z on there?
Yeah.
Damn it, I just bought the .com.
Can I get a FO apostrophe Rizzle?
No? I think there will be very, very many... yes, there will be many versions of this. We'll put them all on T-shirts for you.
T-shirts.
No, what?
My body is only clothed by the finest of VMware threads.
Episode number 54. Thanks for playing, Sony.
Episode number 54. 1 year later, we can't figure it out.
Excellent. Well, guys, as always, please, if you want to chime in on anything, hit us. Oh, there's Chachi. Hi. Contact at awesomecast.com or give us a call, 724-25-ACAST. That's 252-2278. For the Sorg and all the awesome people here, for the awesome chat room, even our awesome minds. Have an awesome week.
That's what said I'ma crush it. Call me the golden boy.
I'm Anthony Walker, and this is Unsung, the nonprofit news magazine show that features news and events from our nonprofit community, and also the good things that you do. You can see more episodes and our Unsung Uncut series on PittsburghOnVideo.org.
Nerds in the club and you know how we do. Handful of cash and a couple of brews. So many women, so little time. Gotta find a good
On a pneumatic tube system. Were this a scripted television show, that would have been foreshadowing.
Either Lunchbox or Will, depending on what show this is for. And